e-gaming bets. Online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to map number 2 of the grand final. We are all playing for money now. Well, we aren't, but the players are, as it is going to be that $30,000 winners bonus, I guess, after getting through to the major qualifier. We are on Inferno now, and, well, I've got Harry joining me, but I'm a little bit worried for Vega on this one, as statistically at least, this is their worst map. Although Tengri, we've seen them play it once in this tournament, but we've only seen them really play it 4 times total, so it's a little bit of a sketchy one there as well.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, the thought process there is, as you know, there are 2 ways you can kind of do it in the Vegas. You can play to your strengths, or you can play to your opponent's weaknesses. And I feel like that's definitely the call that Tengri have made here. It's a map that they know that they can do well on because they've played it, you know, and done well a couple of times in the past. So it's not a map that they're completely alien to playing, but it's just the knowledge that, you know, they play a good bit and that Vega is their least favorite. So, you know, why not just toss it in there? And, you know, I think perhaps a bit of a gamble. Would have been nice to see them pick a map that they're actually good on. I think maybe they tried to sort of twist Vega's arm in the veto process to make a third map be most desirable to them, knowing that maybe Train wouldn't go that well. But yeah, ultimately, I don't know. It does feel like this is still one that could perhaps go either way, in spite of it not being one of Vega's best.
Yeah, I think this was sort of decisions made after the Mirage ban came in from Vega, because they knew they weren't getting the map pool that we saw yesterday, where they managed to win the series, and without that Mirage game, it sort of took their sort of pick away, like their sort of dominant map was gone. So I can understand them switching things up completely, getting rid of Cash, and then trying to play a completely different map pool. And if they can get it to map number 3, then sure, this really is open for them to take. We've seen them beat Vega on Overpass already. At the same time, now we have to wait and see whether or not they can even get that far. Tech 9 onto Fitch. The pistol's well underway, and we already lose Mir.
Yeah, they are going to be out on the A-bomb site, but I'm going to be going down as Sonic able to drop out Hutchie as well. Just being eliminated left and right as Vega lose complete control of the A-bomb site. SNK and Fitch find 2 between them, and then Ramzik finishes it off. It's a team ace for Tengri as they go ahead and pick up this pistol. A great start from them in order to try and get these first couple of rounds on the board. Vega gonna have to force buy into this one. Try and cause some damage with the pistol and armor, and that's something that we know that Vega can do. I mean, there's been numerous rounds where Vega should never have won with a force buy they do, and it does pan out. So Tengri can't afford to go too easy on them, and boy do they know that. You can see with this buy, only 1 UMP up on Pachanga, everyone else opting for rifles.
Not a whole lot invested, though. I think we see the realization that they need quite a bit of utility going into their buy round on the CT side, so not overly investing on the majority of players. You can see there's 3 around that sort of 1,000 marker. JR obviously saving for that AWP. Cassandra, not so much, but he's able to get a kill and looking to do further damage as the remaining players at least push onto these unarmored players over on this B site, stuck in the corner. Chopper going to go for the peak to try and help out, but JR burns. And now Cassandra, well, he has a decision. He can sort of go and try and find a kill, but realistically, it may just be worth saving the Deagle and, of course, the Kevlar behind it.
Yeah, and it doesn't like he's going to do exactly that. Not going to get too much done with the Deegan armor in the 1v4. I think hoping maybe someone comes waltzing his way and the Tengri do get a little bit aggressive, and he might get his wish. It looks like Sonic and Pachanga both thinking about it at least. And if he does manage to grab himself an AK, that gives him a rifle to work with into the next round. With the armor up behind it would come in handy as he just holds off this angle over in CT. Sonic about to come walking into his crosshair, but Sonic does win that one out. So Tengri, they go ahead and pick up this second round. They lose Ramzik in the process, but that's going to be it. His rifle picked up. So not too much of an economic blow there. Vega this time. Going to be investing in some nades. Not everyone really force buying up into that round as, you know, with the armor and stuff behind them. So they have got some extra cash to utilize. And I imagine we're just going to see a nade stack either down through banana or down mid. And while as Mara and Chopper both head over towards B, it doesn't like they're going to just try and get these nades down banana, try and wreak some havoc early on.
Do absolutely nothing. In the meantime, Ramzik's farming up cash. The rest of the team just isolating these players, and nothing will be achieved other than a dink onto Sonic, and that doesn't really help at all. We are going to see now the buy in, and that's it. A lot of utility, considering this is only a 4th round buy over on this CT side. Multiple incendiaries. I'm hoping that will be over towards that B side of the map, because a lot of the time when it comes to early aggression, you need to have those incendiaries to stop banana control. Also, the potential for a deep smoke comes into play, but actually we're going to see one of the utility players go over, but JR will be there as well with the AWP. However, Ramzik has one of his own, and he's going to be peeking down mid.
Yeah, and there's JR pouncing on down through banana. Going to drop Ramzik out very early on into this round. The York prevailing on the back of JR. The rest of Tengri stacking up and out. It's going to be held back by that smoke. And as it does rain in, curious to see if that's going to deter this incoming push. A second smoke going to be making its way out to try and block off that player in pit. 4 players here on the A-bomb site for Vega Squadron as Tengri now look to double on back, and that's largely due to the utility that comes raining on in to hold them out the site, at least for the time being. JR over in mid, repositioning, finds a second out onto Sonic. Just chipping away at Tengri here early on. 45 seconds after they look to go pushing out in towards A. Already Fitch has been tagged down by the AWP on JR. Now just waiting in the smoke, trying to push on through and catch him off guard. But JR holding the angle, goes ahead and gets himself a third on the hat trick now. The bomb on Pachanga. SNK ready to push out as well. Push through short on Apps. Actually finds the first. Now Pachanga trying to pounce on out. Does miss the shot on the Mer. Misses out a second as well. And that's going to allow Pachanga to peek out and finish him off. It will be Vega to get their first rifle round on the board.
Flawless as well. Not a single player loss, so they can get that extra cash into their pockets. Full utility for every single player. Now, an investment will be back in as well for the T side. No AWP, and I definitely don't think it's necessary over on the T side, especially with the ability to go for those quicker pushes. Very nicely done from JR. I was quite surprised to see him rotate over towards that arch side rather than having him as the sort of catalyst player towards banana, but it works out wonderfully as he's able to get those early picks. See the CT side this time going for the deep smoke, but also delaying the nades they're throwing a little bit to try and catch a couple of other players. The pop flash over towards logs to try and just blind anybody from peeking if they had got that far. Now the CT side still retaining control of that banana position. Really just basically sectioning off half of the map into their favor. Actually, JR with the peek as well. Again, he gets that opening frag and doing wonderfully well so far in these early round scenarios. Taking control of Apps as well. Bomb's still going to be waiting in middle. Smoke. Nice vision for both teams, and you're going to go pushing through it. Team well placed to double. And in fact, get his triple overall, and never mind. He won't quite get the quad as Cassandra is there to help. But that's 2 back-to-back flawless rounds. That is massive for the economy of this CT side. And Tengri, well, they can invest a small amount of money, but on anything too major.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see them pick up armor across the board, trying to make it work with this force. As you said, 2 flawless rounds back to back for Vega. Going to be huge as they're already building up a decent bit of bang for a team that won 2 rounds consecutively. JR once again going to start us up with the opening frag for Vega. That's the 3rd round consecutively here in these rifle rounds to pick up the initial frag. And well, now Tengri, let's go charging towards B. The smoke's going to hold them back, and it looks like they might try pushing straight on through as the flashes do go barreling on in. And Pachanga's going to be the man going in on his own, isolated from the rest of the team as they go in one by one, and then just going to get picked apart as a result. It is going to be another flawless round from Vega. Still yet to lose a man since moving on to these rifle rounds. Fantastic stuff from them, and that push from Tengri, a bit of a bad omen almost, as it just doesn't, you know, it doesn't foreshadow their future that well. You know, they went in one by one. The communication was lackluster, and on a pistol round, your one advantage is that sort of safety in numbers. Just go charging on in and try and pick up, you know, 1 or 2 frags here and there. And instead, they just slowly but surely trickle on in through that smoke and get eliminated by Vega.
Again, early nades expended. JR swapped his position once more back towards Banana. He is so good on this rotational AWP. Just a bane to Tengri's life. And, well, he's going to go peeking further into the corner. Up high. Rest of the T's gathering up towards this apartments area. Hootie will be on the other side, who, again, has done very well so far. Triple last time they attempted to push in this direction. Spray will be coming in through the wall, but he's going to be able to avoid it. Still going to have Chopper set up over towards this B site with the deep smoke, and this means they can gamble another player over. And it just seems that they've got the read so perfect in the last few rounds. See if the T's are going to go for any sort of rotation. No, they're going to go straight into this A site.
Yeah, they're just going to be pushing up through short. 4 players here still for Vega, and Kashana going to be the one to open things up as he does shot at SNK. The trade going to be coming in from Ramzik, and finally someone breaks the curse as they do find 1 frag in this round, but that's going to be it. Only Uchi to go down as Vega, they keep 4 players alive into this one. The rebuy has to come in for Uchi, but that's going to be it as everyone else keeps a bounty of cash available. That's 1 singular kill in 4 rounds for Tengri. 1. Tom, 1.
Yeah, it's not good. We talk about Ramzik being that player to watch, but if he's the only player that you can watch, because nobody else is going to do anything else.
In all fairness, Tom, that was the best round. That was the best play thus far.
Yeah, I know. That's
in these
what
rifle
I'm saying.
rounds.
Like, he is the player to watch for their team, but it shouldn't be the case that he's the only one that you can, because no one else has actually managed to get a kill. It's just ridiculous, and the money proves it at the moment. Who's he going to be a little bit lower as he was forced to rebuy, but it's just scary. And the way that they're playing, well, the way Tengri are playing, is worrying for me, because a lot of the times you can force rotations over on this map. And you saw the fact that the setup from Banana just enabled them to already have a player over on the other side. There was only 1 player on Banana. JR again. Again and again and again. He's going to get that first pick. I think that's 4 out of 5 now for him. A little bit upset he didn't manage it in the last round. It will be the wrap over onto the side. But already, Mir is here to support him. Gonna just peek out, spray down. Triple kill for him.
Oh, no.
And we're back. Flawless round.
What is happening? What the hell is going on? This is a slaughter, Tom. This isn't even ethical. This is against the Geneva Convention, what's going on. Vega Squadron doing some fantastic stuff right now. Some just pinnacle CS being played as Tengri don't get any work done time and time again. JR being the one to open things up every single round. Bar 1. And, I mean, now the push is going to be a change of pace coming on in as JR takes the peek down through mid, and oh, there we go, he does it again. What the hell, JR? You're sensational. It is going to be Pachanga the man to go down this time. Fitch looking now to try and push on in up through Banana. A bit of a change in tactics. They've decided that after running A 5 rounds in a row and getting slaughtered every single time, they might try and investigate what... Actually, they did go B in one of them. That's a lie. And, oh, it's not boding that much better. In the blink of an eye, Fitch and SNK both fall. It falls on a Ramzik and Sonic. 2v5 to try and find even one kill in this round.
That's not a phrase that should ever be uttered in a grand final. Ever. It's worrying. Tengri, I'm hoping the pause has had some sort of impact, but if anything, this round is almost proving it has not. There's 2 players on B, so it's a 2v2 as they go to push into the site. The boost in play. Chopper going to be the one to peek out. Should be at least a trade here, but in fact he manages to get away while spotting the players, and they're just going to play in a bit of a crossfire, making them peek in. The bomb is going to be dropped. Ramzik in position, and Chopper continues this streak. 1 player dead in 6 rounds.
I just don't know what to say, Tom. I just don't know what to say, Tengri. I was really hopeful. They got themselves that pistol. They got the first 3 rounds. I was like, that's it. You know, Vega, this isn't a map they enjoy, but... Oh, Tengri, it's not good. Yeah, maybe it should be. And maybe Tengri should not touch this with a 10-foot barge pole as now they try and make some aggression out through mid. Gonna be held back. The Molotovs rain in through Banana, and that just suddenly shuts down. This is a potential play. The smoke's there. There's a Molotov burning on the other side, and they're looking like they're just gonna try going on through, because why the hell not? And they will be pushing on up. 2 players here in the form of Mur and Chopper. No early frag this time for JR. They're going to go pushing on in. Chopper finds the first, and they're just going to be like lambs to the slaughter, cut down. Finally, Ramzik and Pajanga do find 2 frags, so we've got some deaths for Vega Squadron here. It will be a 3-on-3. Bomb plant looking to come on in as Pajanga will get it down. And it's on the back of these pistols that Tengri have their best round yet. Double the amount of frags they found in every single rifle round in this one thus far. Still looking to try and get more damage done. Ramzik able to spot out one in Tachi. Kashana next to go down. It all falls into JR, the entry fragger in this 1v3. Entry now turned into clutch, and first trying to deal with Ramzik on the flank, can't connect it, so they do finally step up and find themselves another rifle round. I say rifle, that was a force. Going to be their chance to throw a bit of a spanner in the works here for Vega, who have had a commandeering lead early on. They've got the AWP on Ramzik to try and counteract JR. They have got a fighting chance to try and keep this lead. Not lead, they've got the chance to try and equalize things out, sorry. And they've actually got a decent bit of money in the bank because that was on a force buy.
Yeah, only investing into a few Tech 9s and some armor behind it once max loss bonus are built up. So, yeah, a decent amount of money to get. Sonic gonna have to move down to 44 HP. Now they need to continue in this sort of fashion. Yes, they have a little bit of a buffer in terms of cash, but it'll just be so demoralizing as well if they then continue to lose this next round. Already, first time seen it in the last 7 rounds. Even in the last one, they've managed to get the entry kills, and now there's only 1 player remaining on this A site. It's going to be Cassandra as they go pushing in, and he should have no chance in this round. Chopper from behind. There's a few low players. There's still money left over on that CT side. Of course there is, with the amount that was done previously. Are going to have... Falling back, though. Not going to risk it. Make sure they have money confirmed for the next couple of rounds with the extra saves. Don't just want to hand these weapons back. In fact, Vega going to call attack.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see their reason for doing so, right? They go and take 6, only losing 1 player in 6 rounds, and then suddenly Tengri emerge back on top and go and take 2 consecutively. This time it's, you know, Tengri to only lose 1 player in this one. I guess the tactic is very justified right now. They just want to stop this before it gets out of control. I mean, it's going to be 6-5 after this. They're 1 round away from having it equalized out. They've got money to buy, and that money should be able to sustain itself, you know, well into the next couple of rounds. They should be all good. But they have to make sure they don't throw this lead away on the CT side. I mean, when they themselves move on to the T side, things are going to be more tricky. So it is important to try and keep this lead up. I mean, already Tengri are mounting a fairly large economy in these last couple of rounds. Just because they only lost 1 player across 6 doesn't make them invincible, and that's what they're having to learn now. You have got the AWP on JR. into this one. Plenty of utility across the board. Now it's just a case of can Vega find their footing once again after Tengri have made them look a little bit unsure.
Yeah, we're going to wait and see whether or not they can rectify the problems they've had. And you have to remember, based off the pistol, it becomes a lot easier for Tengri to get a reasonable amount of rounds on this half. They get sort of 6 or 7, and they should be feeling relatively confident going on to that second half. Now, it is a lot more plausible to get high numbers of rounds since the update to this map on the T side, but still, with the decent amount of utility, if they can get their money rolling on the CT side, very easy to section off parts of the map, as we're currently seeing. Nade's going to be thrown out to try and catch a couple of players. Deep smoke, something that Tengri have struggled with in the last round and all. Ramzik, ever closer with every shot that goes through that smoke. We are going to see the fallback, and again, we see this sort of wraparound. There's now 4 players on the A site, waiting for this push to come in. Now, if they switch back towards B, they will only have Chopper. And that could be perfect for them going back. And Sonic, I think, has an inkling to start making his way back over towards that site. If he can find this kill onto Banana, it's just going to have to be a quick run back. But Hootie will start things off. A second player going in that direction as well. And straight away, Sonic entries. Now, Cassandra, well, actually, it's going to be JR. It's going to go rotating back to try and catch them as they cross. Not going to have anybody here as the push comes in, and this is sort of the backfire of only having 1 player on that banana spot. You now have to retake B versus 4.
Lucky enough, Murder to bring it back, but then the trade comes in straight away from SNK. The bomb going to be going down, and JR just has to wait for his teammates to come rotating in. In through CT spawn they go. Kashanda, the first man on the scene. JR going to be dropped out of the equation. Kashanda falls as well. And then in the blink of an eye, it's all on Uchi, who is in this 1v3. Now just going to look to try and save. Tengri will bring it back to a 6-6 scoreline as they found their footing now on the T side. After having 6 of some of the most convincing rounds I've ever seen in CS from Vega, Tengri now go ahead and come straight back, picking up 3 of their own in these rifles. They're actually hunting for you. They don't want to let him save up this M4, and it does, would help the economy of Vega a considerable amount if he holds on to it. They could have afforded to have bought anyway. But I mean, it's a weird one. Right now, I think that solo B anchor from Chopper was something that was working wonders for them initially, and I feel like that round it just what
they call him Bianca.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, while it was working really well initially, I hate you. You know, I mean, it has fallen off now, and just then we saw it get exploited in perhaps the worst of ways. It was the advantage of Vega till that trade did come in, and this time they've reacted by putting JR here. Now he has to watch out because Sonic's actually been able to work his way out over towards Logs, has players to try and back him up, and it's Ramzik to find it first. JR goes down, completes the transition from entry fragger to entry fragged, and Chopper able to trade things back into a 4-on-4, now falling back in towards the B-bomb site. It's going to go down as he repeaks the angle. Not really sure why he would go for that, as this is just going to open that B-bomb site up once again. Hachi and Kashanda already having to just save, not even going to bother rotating on round. There is a player here trying to hunt them down as well in the form of SNK. It will be a 7th though to go the way of Tengri, I imagine.
Yeah, I don't see any chance for the remaining 2 players. Mir a little bit unlucky with hitting the dink onto Ramzik. Trying to watch SNK, but actually he'll go down in the meantime. And while Chandra is going to go moving forward, they want to change up their positions a little bit. Make sure there's nobody else in this app spot.
Yeah, the one thing, that round, the whole thing that made that fall apart, I don't know if you're going to agree with me here, but I imagine you're going to name the same moment as me. Chopper. If you had to identify one. Yeah, the re-peeking from Chopper. I mean, the smoke was there. I guess maybe he thought no one would have pushed on through, but it makes, you know, I think anyone would have assumed that Tengri would have gone for the trade on that, especially as the smoke was just starting to dissipate, and they'd already found the entry over towards Banana, especially considering the fact the chopper was tagged down low. He didn't even re-peek with the gun fully at the ready. He just switched out to the knife and then the nades. So he was, you know, wasn't even in a position where he could have got the frag on his journey around the corner. So it just seemed unfounded aggression to come in there from Vega, and that's now given Tengri some leeway to make their way back into this. 7 rounds for Tengri, which is a very good T side on Inferno.
Seemingly frustrated, maybe. Well, even some of these confidence plays, JR no longer taking these aggressive peaks. Seeming like Vega have been countered. I'm not really sure what's changed. That's what's interesting. Yes, they're sort of utilizing rotations a little bit better. They seem to be able to take control of spots. It just seems that Vega has stopped just dominating in the aim. A lot of what we saw earlier. JR on the boost. Getting hit by the nade. Hootie going to start things off. He coming out will actually hit the back player. Has to be careful. The trade definitely possible. Sonic has been playing very well. This sort of banana spot. He currently sits top of the board, not in frags, but point man. JR tag low, chopper off as well. Round definitely not done as of yet, and SNK edging his way. Now the split at the moment from this CT side is no longer gambling at all. It's a straight 2-2 split, which means wherever the T goes, or T's go, they're going to have an advantage, a man advantage in fact. Now, got the chance to wrap around Arch, although there is going to be a spot coming out from Mir, but he switches away to the nade just at the wrong time. SNK is actually going to find him in the meantime. This is just decimation as SNK gets both. Once again, the site has fallen and the 2 remaining players rotating in don't really have much they can do about it. Chopper going all the way back towards the spawn area. May look to try and catch someone on the exit, but with JR being so low, there's nothing they can do. And after we see 6 rounds in a row, only 3 players dropped in between all of them. It's actually going to be 5 now in a row for Tengri.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what a change around here from Tengri is they've been able to flip it to their advantage. Vega, the best they can hope for now is 7 rounds, and they will be able to buy up into the next. Gucci, thankfully, just being the bank behind this. JR and Chopper both saving. We'll be able to drop rifles on over as well. But, I mean, it's a curious one. Tengri just looking like they've been on top of this time and time again. Even in that last round where we saw that Vega did have the man advantage, both the players on A get shut down within seconds of one another by SNK. Who is, you know, bringing up this offensive on Tengri. It is going to be by coming in from Vega. Last round of the half as well. A potential for them to get a 7th here. It's going to be, you know, fairly required if they want to try and win this out in the second half. It's just been such a fall from grace for Vega Squadron. They go ahead and take those 6, only losing 1 player the whole time, and now they've lost in the last 5 consecutively. JR already being tagged down. Over here towards B. Holding the angle, waiting to see if any peaks do come through. Our players waiting on the other side of the wall, but are ready now to peek on out, and JR's actually been forced back. The rest of Tengri over here towards A. Bomb going to be dropped passively over in towards bottom mid, so they can rotate between either one of these sites wherever they do find these picks. And Ramzik making his way up with the AWP could be the difference maker.
Bomb, however, is actually going to make its way up banana, so... Oh, never mind. Sonic changes his mind as the control over towards that mid position is taken. Player deep on site is going to be Mir. There's 2 sort of back around that sort of balcony area, just waiting in a bit of a crossfire. Basically hoping that somebody comes out short. He is going to switch his position and walks into the hands of SNK. He's been excellent in the last few rounds. We are going to see the wrap around, but Cassandra spraying away, both players missing completely, and, well, Fitch will capitalize on that. This time, there is no save to be had for the CT side. It's the last round, and although the bomb only goes down with 8 seconds now, it's down to that retake.
Yeah, the retake even to come through takes so long from Chopper and JR that now it all falls onto Chopper in the 1v3. Working his way up through the smoke, and with so many players holding this angle, his life expectancy going to be about 3 seconds. He gets tagged out at 1 HP through the smoke, now pushing on in. Does manage to find the first. Ramzik exchanging that AWP in favor of the AK towards short. Player hiding in the corner, and Pit's going to be Pachanga, who does get spotted out, but no, we'll be able to find that frag, and that's Tengri. 8-6 as they have a very convincing turnaround on their T side.
One of the weirdest halves I think I've ever witnessed.
Yeah.
The first 3 rounds going one way, 6 going the other way, and then 6 going straight back to the T's. And it didn't look like most of those rounds could have gone the other way. It always seemed to be just a pretty open and shut case. So really odd to see this sort of situation. Chopper actually going to buy an HE and drop a Tech 9 over to JR. No Deagle, which is something we normally see from him. 6-9. If they can win the pistol, they will be able to even up the scoreline. And, well, Tengri have picked this map. You expect the better CT side to come out from them, and Ramzik will want to get that AWP as soon as possible. He gets naded early. JR going to be looking, but there's 3 players just around this corner. You've got to be very careful when going for these aggressive peaks.
And actually, it's already Hoochie and Chopper find 2 between them. Pachanga trying to fight for his life. Over here on Banana, there's 3 players to back him up, so... Sorry, 2 players. Bomb actually could just waltz out over here towards A if they'd like. I mean, the only player here is Sonic. The rotate already going to be coming on in, and Sonic can find the first. Oh, and the second! Sonic with a quick fancy flick down onto Hoochie. Suddenly puts us into a 3-on-3. Luckily enough, Crescendo is going to be there to put us back into a man advantage for Vega. JR snuffs out SNK, and Pachanga's rotated around out towards A, and oh, suddenly Crescendo realized he made a mistake, just starts B-hopping away, and then does manage to re-peek out and dispatch a Pachanga. Tengri, don't pick up that pistol. It will be Vega to go ahead and secure that early on. Now with the potential to bring us back to a 9-9 scoreline.
Vega needing to convert. Something they have had problems with. Not so much in the last few, but see if they're able to in this scenario. They've got 4 UMPs, an AK-47 with it. Up against some pistols, a Scout, and Kevlar. Sonic will actually drop for his teammate after the couple of kills he was able to get. Majority of players, though, are going to be pushing up Banana. It's going to be an aggressive push. Pachanga waiting. See them fall back. Quite interesting, really. It looked like they were about to just go running and gunning onto the site, using those UMPs for the close range damage that they have. Rotation already going to come in from Sonic, who does have an HE. Now, if he was to throw that down Banana, cause quite a bit of damage. Risky, to say the least, because it means he would have to peek out. Smoke comes in. Wondering where he's actually going to try and bounce this off, because I don't see anywhere where he can actually get the kill from. It's not really sure what that smoke has achieved, though. Is that really a miss smoke? Like, that's a pretty basic one, if that's what Vega Squadron have attempted to do. There we go. No, it's actually going to be thrown in later, so a bit confusing. The boost will be in place, so they have to be careful of this. Pachanga going to be waiting, and it has not been checked. JR just going to go running straight into that CZ. Chopper will be there to trade, and Pachanga, with only 1, won't really do enough. There's a gap in that smoke as well. This is just a little bit worrying now from Vega, not really hitting some of the more basic smokes on this map.
Sonic go ahead and put us back in a 2-on-2. Looking like he'll have to do this solo with the Deeg without the help of Fitch, who is just saving the AK. Effectively a 1v2 out on the site right now. Doesn't have the kit to work with either, but he's looking just to try and make things costly as he is held back with all the utility raining on in. There should be no way for Sonic to make his way back into this round, and we'll just look now to try and keep these players here falling on off to hold on to the Deeg. Fitcher to save the armor and the AK could make a bit of a difference into this next round, though, because with all the damage that's been sustained to Vega, it does mean that the buy-up into the next round isn't going to be fantastic. I mean, you've got pretty much everyone relegated down to UMPs if Mer and Kashana don't drop theirs over and opt to buy up rifles, which it doesn't look like they're going to. So I imagine we're going to see a whole bunch of UMPs invested. Thankfully, one of them is tossed across. So the economy redistributed back out across that T side. But it looks like, yeah, I mean, Tengri, they're going to force buy down on the players that can't afford it. Instead of saving up for the AWP, you've got Ramzik buying the Scout, some pistols bought on up.
Scout was saved.
And then that AK. Wait, oh yeah, the Scout was saved. My bad.
So he's just bought Kevlar.
Yeah, bought the armor.
Still a little bit of investment. Already though, a lot of damage done. A shot to the back of the head into Pachanga. T side already taking a couple of down, and while that's the A site pretty much done, although it looks like they're going to go rotating into B. Now Ramzik's here with the Scout. He can hit shots when needed of him, but I think that will be enough. I don't think there's any reason for the T's to continue to push. And yeah, they're just going to go over to this A site, play things safe, make sure they get that 9-9 scenario. Pachanga may as well just save this AK. Ramzik, he could save the Scout. He's not bad with it. Could get some tags off, but it looks like he's going to go fighting with no real opening. He's going to fall back.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, even if not for the Scout, for the extra money he'll save by keeping the armor into the next round, both of them can be utilized. I mean, and the Scout is a very decent weapon as well, just for doing that tag damage. If not, you know, to pick up the kills with the headshots, it is a very, very good weapon to kind of support with. And we do see a couple of players pick it up just to do that, just to paint the enemies with damage and get them low early on for the team. Bomb going to be going off. Does mean Vega will secure the 9-9 scoreline that they wanted. We can see the AWP invested in as well. Chopper with the money to drop that over if they would like. And I imagine they will, given that JR was a driving force in the early stages of their CT side half. But no, instead, it's going to be 2 UMPs still in play. 3 rifles for Vega, I guess, not wanting to don the AWP on their T side just yet, which to me, having those 2 SMGs, having the 3 rifles, suggests that they want to go for something a bit explosive out towards one of these sites.
Bitch. And I think that was Sonic having a little bit of a moment trying to get through that door. Luckily for them, nobody's gone aggressive onto this side of the map just yet, but there's no attempt to take Banana whatsoever from this T side. Luckily for them, there's no attempt to take it from the CT side either, but it doesn't mean that they can just go straight for this smoke setup over onto the A side. Every single one of their players ramps it, peeks wide, and gets taken down very, very quickly. Sonic is there to trade one back, but can't do anything more. And this CT defense is dismantled in a matter of seconds. JR so ready for their rotation. Should only be able to get away with one, as Pachanga will be there to trade. Actually, he's going to go for this, and may have just been better to save the rifle in that situation.
Yeah, it's going to leave Tengri in a bit of an awkward spot where I imagine, yeah, they're going to be force buying down.
Oh,
which...
okay, I think it's just Ramsey. Pistols.
Okay.
I don't mind that, actually. I don't mind
Pachanga
that.
as well can afford to invest a good bit. So yeah, I mean, they're going to have actually a fairly decent buy up into this round and still the possibility to buy into the next. Buy next round, not going to be, you know, picture perfect, but it should be good enough, and they can still wreak some serious damage in this one. So they gave themselves a fighting chance. Two players over here towards Banana. Pachanga going to be up close, waiting until this smoke with the CZ, looking to try and peek on out, but there's no gap in it for him to utilize. He's pushed up and running a couple of shots over the CZ will give his position away. CZ not really the ideal gun to rally shots off with, given that you got 24 bullets.
Nice Molotov. We're going to see Mir jump into position over on apps. Chopper's still waiting. Not going to go for the same aggressive push they had in the previous round. Expecting to come up against some resistance in the form of pistols, but they know that there's not going to be a full buy. It would have to be a pretty odd scenario to see Tengri risk it here. I actually really like the decision they've made. Smoke is going to fall out. You're going to see Fitch peek, find a couple of players, and already the rotation will begin to come in. The problem is I don't think it's going to be soon enough. There's only going to be one player left on this side. Ramzik with the rifle is already gone. We do see Sonic sneaking, but the steps he takes will be the last. Mir will hear him. And now SNK, Deagle and armor. Saves us into the next round. It will give him a little bit of a boost in terms of his economy. May even be able to drop an AWP, although I think they can afford one anyway. At least Pachanga can with the 3,400, but I suppose might as well just have that player already with armor ready to drop rather than a different scenario where they won't be able to.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they'll be $100 short of getting the AWP on SNK. And that's even if he survives Chopper flanking on round.
It's alright, he'll get a kill here and then he'll make me right.
Yeah. Gonna be holding the angle, Chopper walking into his grasp. Gonna be right there. There we go. Now they can get the... yeah, you predicted that. The Oracle of CS. As Vega, they go ahead and retake the lead, very convincingly so as well in these rounds, at least early on. Although Inferno seems to be a complete, polar opposite of how we're used to seeing Vega. Normally with Vega Squadron, it's a terrible start and then picked up in the latter stages of the game. Inferno looks to be a great kind of early/middle and then just a terrible ending. What a good analogy.
That sentence.
Yeah, no, it was really bad, Tom. I'm exhausted.
Well, at least you can do maths and I can predict the future. We have a few talents, although he didn't buy an AWP because he got an AK instead, so I can only foresee partial bits of the future. I can't get the whole picture, Not quite the oracle I want to be as of yet. Either way, in this round, default set out for Vega. They've won 5 rounds in a row. And just looking at the scoreboard at the moment, the streaks that have come out, if anything, if this is to go on something, then if anything, we're waiting for Tengri to now have a streak of their own on the CT side. Will we be left waiting? That's the real question. I don't think it's going to be for long as the T's now make their presence known into middle. Bomb going to be sat back and still have Chopper lurking behind. Already a rotation will begin to come in from Pachanga. Trying to help out. The problem is there's not really anybody holding that arch side as of yet. Now Pachanga is holding it passively. Ramzik, in fact, going through the smoke. The timing may just be there. He'll spot all of the players coming through. But this is all just a bait. They're going to go back around towards this B site. Mir now becomes the lurker holding the flank. And with 35 seconds left, there's a lot for these remaining players over on the CT side B to do.
Yeah, SNK going to get annihilated. Ramzik and Pachanga doing some serious work between them. Turn this round on its head and put us into a 2-on-4. Sonic coming in on the flank as well could make a huge difference as Chopper turns his attention towards Banana. Does pick up the frag up. The bomb's going to go down. It will be a 2-on-3 in the retake. And actually, JR trying to turn this one back around. Only gets one. Pachanga's there to go ahead and claim himself a third. Gets the hat-trick. Chopper. Oh, it's not looking at his life expectancy. About 3 seconds in this scenario. Holding the angle, takes the peek out, and Fitch will shut him down. Defuse comes in, and Tengri. Could this be the start of their streak?
The future being predicted.
I tell you what, actually, no, with your limited future predicting skills.
Oh no!
For example, you can.
Under the bus.
No. I was just gonna say, like, do you, in real life terms, do you think there's gonna be a war soon?
Oh God!
Yeah. Well, no, because I think you said it's limited, so I'm not asking. Do you know who it's gonna be between? I'm just saying yes or no. That's the sort of oracle you are. No, there you go. For the sake of happiness, putting 11 to 10.
Yeah. Peace
Speaking
and love,
of the
guys.
war right now, speaking of the war that's going on right now, it is Tengri. They've got themselves rifles across the board. Buy coming in from Vega as well leaves them with plenty of money. Chow going to be on the AWP. This is the first time we've seen them get the AWP on their T side, so curious to see how this is going to affect them heading into this round. Yeah, holding the angle over in mid. Not going to be peeked from anyone just yet. Instead, we've got SNK holding the angle from long, and he's going to get smoked off. And actually, with no one in position to help him out over towards Boiler or Short, it does mean that Vega could push on up and seize control of mid if they'd like to.
Definitely seems like there's much more of a dedication to hitting over on this A site. I don't blame them. Even with a decent wraparound over towards B, they weren't able to do enough. They couldn't finish off Pachanga. This time, though, Sonic has been doing very well over towards A. Goes down. Fitch quick to trade things back, but he's blind left in the pit. The flashbang leaves a few T's, unable to see, but it's all on Ramzik on the site, and there's nothing he can do. Takes Cassandra with him. They're going to need some more Pachanga magic if they're going to hold on to this round. And just remember, this is the reset.
Yeah, that Pachanga magic just going to get snuffed out. And it is all going to be on SNK. 1v3 coming in from the wrap in through apps. Actually going to be holding the angle. Has JR on the site, you can trade this back. Same with Mer. I mean, all the players in an angle where they can lock this down, and SNK going to make the decision to not go for it. Instead, looking to try and save and potentially get some exits on any of these saving players. Won't be the case as JR stays on the site and the other two remainers exit in through CT spawn. So it will now be a 12th on the board for Vega. Tengri, they're going to be at the full brunt of an economic reset. They've got the M4 bought up on SNK. They've got two players that aren't going to have the best buy if they do eco here. So I'm curious to see if it's going to be a force scenario or if they go for the eco. And I think that's even what they're trying to figure out now with this tac pause.
Clearly the streak I have foreseen is JR after he wins this game. On a more CS related note, I quite like them to say.
Yeah, there you go. I learned if you just don't reply to your musings.
Puns. I like what's wrong? It's just a double meaning on a word. You never know. Maybe that's the way he celebrates. Of course, they're going for the sort of back-to-back minor victories. Last time they were at the major qualifier, they did make some waves. Certain Swedish team coming at the brunt of it, who won't be there this time, but maybe they can upset somebody else. Obviously, both of these teams have made it. I'm looking forward to seeing what Tengri can do. See if anybody will challenge them on Mirage. It's looking like maybe they need some depth in map pause. They've already lost train. They're losing at the moment on Inferno. But find a way back into this, and it's just not looking good at the moment. In this round, at least. SNK with the rifle. Rest of the team on pistols, and, well, in fact, a lot of those pistols have already fallen prey to this T side. Fitch gonna go start rotating. Looks a little bit hesitant. Of course, in these sort of rounds, I actually quite like to see a bit more of a gamble. I would rather just Fitch rotate out, go over to that A site, play alongside SNK, who has the gun in hand. And if nobody goes that way, then just save with the rifle player. Instead, he's waiting. Still just going to be looking for that spot, and lovely shot onto Chopper. Shoulder peek catches him. Now, that's actually going to force him into a rotation over towards this rifle.
Yeah, and SNK going to be here. The one player who did dodge the economic drought, but he's going to be doused in not water or money. It's going to be bullets as he will fall. Fitch going to have himself an AK to try and work with. He does rotate in up through mid. Already being forced on back and just looking to save as the bomb does get planted. Pachanga looking to try and deal some damage, but actually holding down the angle and it being smoked off does disallow that push. Fitch is able to save himself up the AK at least, which does come in handy because when you look at it, Pachanga couldn't afford to get too much of a decent buy into this next round. As he too looks to try and find some exits as Vega now leave the site. But keeping up in an orderly fashion, they make their way in through mid, and Pachanga spotted out, going to be eliminated. Fitch able to hold on to the AK at least, but it will be Vega now 13-10. Tengri with only one round on their CT side. They can buy up into this round, but the buy is really not going to come that easy.
Saved rifle will help them out a little bit, although Fitch not going to opt to drop one of his teammates. Could have had some Kevlar and still been able to, well, obviously have the AK already and drop a gun, but instead he'll go for the utility, which I can get behind. you definitely need to make sure that you can slow down a lot of these aggressive pushes, and that's some of the problems they've been having. Vega, all they've really been doing so far is just executing onto this A side. One time that we see them go towards B is actually the round that they lose, and they still manage to get control of Arch side. So it's not like CT side showed dominance in that round. This time, play hidden player in the Kreb. Meantime, the T's, this time with Chopper, over towards this banana spot.
Now, Archie actually making his way up through mid, going to be pushed back by that Molotov. Just going to rejoin the rest of his teammates down here over towards B, and with 3 players for Tengri on this A bomb site, the rotates won't be coming in that quickly. No one on Speedway, leaves a lot of pressure on these players within the site. It is going to be Pachanga and SMK to try and hold this back. A UMP and an M4 between the rotates actually already going to be coming on in as they try to do this preemptively. SMK to find the first. The trade does come in from Chopper. All on Pachanga to try and hide on the site with the UMP. Claims one, but then the trades do come on in and already... Actually, Fitch able to find one through the smoke, and a second as that smoke starts to dissipate, and make that 3 as Fitch comes in swinging, goes ahead, and cements an 11th now for Tengri, looking to try and close this gap. Vega will be able to buy on down. They've got plenty of money to invest into this round. Plenty of money to buy up into the next as well. The economy for Tengri is going to be looking weak. I mean, they are on the verge of being reset, but they've got the AWP for Ramsek. They've got a strong buy together. And a Fitch ready to perform.
3 players this time switch up in pace, and it's going to be Ramsek to win that AWP duel, the nade to win the second, and already a 2-man advantage over for this CT side. We said they've needed a streak for a while. This could be their point to do it. They've taken full banana control, but in the meantime, there's a rotation from Hootie trying to make his way out. But already, third player returns. The prodigal son now on the site as well, but they will fall. Mir, Hootie as well, and the remaining 2 players were left so deep on B that when they went to rotate back to the site, they've now left themselves out of the action. Again, we're seeing this Vega Squadron return where they're just able to come back from any situation. And even after a superb start to this round, we find Tengri at a deficit. Chandra will be able to take one. It's Ramsek as well here to try and finish things off, but Hootie will do enough. 14 to 11. The economic reset will hit. What do Tengri do? They force.
And, you know, this is it now. This is all or nothing here from Tengri. They're, 0-1 down in the series. This is the pivotal moment. I mean, don't get me wrong, they've already qualified for the major qualifier. Oh, I hate that sentence. Yeah. But there's still money on the line, a cool $30,000, which Vega Squadron are well on their way to getting. It's going to be the force coming in from Tengri in a last-ditch attempt to try and haul this one back. Even if they win, the economy at Vegas can still sustain a buy into the next. So the ball is very much in Tengri's court to turn this one around. It's all eyes on them, and the pressure is going to be insurmountable as this is arguably the most important round they've played this matchup. And well, Vega taking things very slowly, not wanting to fall prey to this force from Tengri. Everyone over in mid, a couple of players up and towards apps as well. For Tengri, they got Fitch and Ramsek over here towards Zong. Now, this does allow for faster rotates, but when that smoke goes down, I think they're going to try and boost over the top of it. That's what we saw them do in the previous round. And yeah, Ramsek stuck over the top of the smoke with that UMP. It's an angle that really Vega shouldn't be prepared for, so he should be able to get one and then hopefully fade on back. It's just as they make their way out. Ramsek picking up at the top, going to go in and get beheaded. Doesn't get any work done. Fitch trying to hold the angle. Never peek off one, but Chopper there to trade things back instantly. Sonic going to fall within the site, and now the rotates coming in as Pachanga and SNK charge on in from this B site. Pachanga actually able to find one with the CZ. And now SNK coming in from Library. They are going to be going for a 2-pronged approach. As you can see, both players now netting themselves rifles to work with as well. Smoke down though to buy these guys time, and Pachanga making his way out through short. No one giving him the opportunity to try and find anything so much as an entry in towards this bomb site in the retake, and he's going to fall, leaving it now on SNK, who goes down as well as Huchi and Chopper between them. Get themselves 2 frags, and that is Vega to arrive at match and series point, 1 round away from, for the 2nd time in a row, winning out the CIS minor.
Match, series, and tournament point. The all-important round to be had. Tengri fighting back with pistols once again. They've managed to win rounds, countless rounds like this throughout the tournament. Individual players stepping up for them. Seeing crazy things from every single name on that sheet, but already we lose one of them. SNK will burn in the flames. Vega Squadron, Chopper, a man sat at the top of the board for his team. A brilliant performance at the moment, but it is a team effort. Nobody really slacking in this matchup, and that seems to be the problem at the moment for this CT side. They just can't pick one of these players straight through. Knock anybody off the boost. Hanger just behind the wood. Ramzik looking to go for a peek, and actually may just get away with something here as Chopper fallen back behind the logs. He's been so patient in many of these rounds. Trait that I do not have. Patiently waiting as the rest of his team now go pushing. Throwing the nades.
I mean, oh, sorry, Danger's Pachanga there over the woods banana. As you said, it might be
oh no.
It's going to be Chopper on 3, just charging on in. There might be no I in team, but there is
a Chopper.
Yeah, as he goes ahead and gets the ace in the last round. Fantastic stuff from him. 16-11. Vega, they will be your victors. They win out the series 2-0 in their favor. And as I said, for the 2nd time running, they are the CIS minor champions.
Yeah, they've definitely proven themselves throughout this tournament. Losing only yesterday to this very team. Coming back, getting a completely different map pool and showing that they are the team with the depth. Phenomenal on their T sides, individually performing all the way through. And they will get to show themselves at the major qualifier alongside Tengri as your CIS representatives. Either way, it's been an absolute pleasure. Not only getting to cast for you guys, but also working with Harry all the way along. Except for those few maps where that Canadian guy came in, but we'll forget about him. Of course, thank you to Scrotty as well. Don't forget, won't actually forget. Thank you very much for coming in for that while Harry moved house, of course. But you came back. You were welcomed.
I did. I returned.
I welcomed you back with open arms.
I know. Thank you about that.
Although I may have been a little bit bitter today with some of my remarks. Either way, guys, as said, thank you very much for watching. I've been Tombiz. Joining me has been Just Harry GG. I'll give the full name just so you can find him on Twitter if you want to. He prefers to be called Harry. And we will see you probably again soon. I'm sure there's many more tournaments online and off. But either way, good night.